this morning with gratitude, with deep gratitude. Let us recognize the golden opportunity that Bhagwan gave us to do his powerful Nama Sankirtan right in his presence here in the ashram. Those of you who were able to join us in this Nama Sankirtan have been specially blessed. We shall share one more drop of Leela from the ocean of His grace. A single drop of grace from the huge ocean of His grace. The glory of divinity of Bhagwan, the divine life of Bhagwan. It was the beginning of the ashram. There was only a small building built for darshan. It's called now the old Darshan Mandir. It's very near the gate. A small building. At that time we thought it was enough for the time being. And of course people would come. More and more people were coming, and therefore it was not enough. But then the arrangement was a batch of people would go in, sit for some time, and Bhagwan would walk up and down, blessing everybody. And then that batch will come out and the next batch would go in. So when this darshan was going on, it was not possible for anybody to just walk inside and go near Bhagwan. There were people to see to that. That discipline was necessary at that time. And there was this Rajakumari Murugesham, a devotee of Bhagwan. Shri Murugeshji is well known among his devotees. He was very, very dear to Bhagwan. That's so much so that Bhagwan used to call him my king. His wife, after his passing away, this Shri Murugeshji is passing away, his wife, Rajakumari Murugesham, was asked by Bhagwan to stay around the ashram. At that time there was no facility for people to stay in the ashram. It was just a ground for this small building. So they were staying near, and there was one Bama, a devotee of Bhagwan from Tuticorin. They were staying in a house near the ashram, and they would come every day for the darshan. So one day, Srimati Bama's son, Tamilarasan, an electronic engineer from Chennai, had come for darshan of Bhagwan for the first time. The place was already very crowded. On the one side the ladies, on the other side the men. Tamilarasan got just a little space near the door of the hall. Srimati Bama was praying and praying to Bhagwan. Bhagwan, my son has come all the way for your darshan and the first time. Please bless him nicely. He cannot come near without your calling. So somehow you have to bless him nicely. Please call him near. Please bless him. She kept on praying intensely, soulfully. And of course, Bhagwan heard it. He began to play a Leela. He was smoking all the time, blessing people. And then he asked two ladies from the ladies' side to sing songs. Of course, there were other people, so we began to sing. And then Bhagwan said, today we shall record these songs. And the minute he said, immediately arrangements were made to bring a tape recorder, and it was kept before Bhagwan. It was ready now for recording. And then we sang. We sang the songs, and we were all thinking that it was getting recorded. And a little later, a few minutes later, Bhagwan said, let's see how well it has been recorded. You please play it back. But when they did so, no song came out of the tape recorder. We knew instantly that it did not record at all. There was something wrong with the set. Then Bhagwan said, oh, it's under repair now. It's not working properly. And then he said, is there anyone who can do this repairing now? And suddenly, Mrs. Bama, who was seated a little distance away from Bhagwan, knew with great happiness, with great joy, oh, my son Tamilarasan is electronic engineer. Bhagwan wants to call him near, so he is playing this game. She very happily passed on this information to someone near. My son can do the repairing. And then it was passed on to Bhagwan, and Bhagwan said, okay, please call him. So Tamilarasan, who was sitting almost outside the room with no space at all, immediately came with great joy. He came near, and Bhagwan said, Thambi. Thambi means younger brother. Thambi, you can do this, you can set this right. It's not recording, not working. He said, yes, Swami, I'll just see what is wrong with that. And then immediately he pulled out this cassette. He just turned it this side and that side, and there was a little loose tape inside. He set it right and put it back, and then said, Swami, we can now see if it's recording. It will record now. And true to his word, it started to record, and after the recording was over, Bhagwan said, let's play it. And of course, the song came from the tape recorder. Bhagwan smiled very happily. Oh, this Thambi has set it right. Thambi, what is your name? Tamilarasan Swami. Oh, what are you doing? Swami, I am an electrical engineer. Then Swami called him near, took his hand in his hand, gave him a pat on the thigh, and then 2 or 3 pats on his back, and said, Tamilarasan Saukyamarpa. My father blesses Tamilarasan. My father blesses Tamilarasan. Watching all this, Srimati Bama was beside herself with joy. She was so happy, and it was wonder to her how Bhagwan could play this natak, this game, just to get her son near and bless him. What a delightful story it is. So when Bhagwan wants to call us near, we have to pray to him as intensely as Mrs. Bama did. And then Bhagwan would somehow create a situation, and we would be able to go near him and receive his blessings. This can happen even today. This Bhagwan, who is Kripa Samudram, the ocean of grace, is here standing here right in front of us in the form of his murti, which is full of his power and grace. And Swami is there with his hand raised in benediction, symbolic of the continuous flow of grace from his hand. So let us submit our prayers at his feet. Bhagwan,